Hello, everyone. Seems like I'm always here with not so great news. Hmm. Wish I was going to break that streak here today, but it doesn't look like it. I'll give everybody a minute to join up here. My son got chocolate on my shirt. Mm. Hello, everybody. Good to see you funneling in. So, how about the aurora? Seen all the way in southern Texas. We had this discussion last month, the end of last month, when we had the level 4 solar storm. And I was trying to be very optimistic. What's up, Baby Yoda? How you doing? Trying to be very optimistic, saying, well, we did have equinox vulnerability. Even still, it was slightly more than one might have expected, given the solar wind telemetry that we saw. Now it just happened again a month later, and what can we say? This is probably not fantastic news in terms of Earth's magnetic field. Hey, Mary, how you doing? Thank you for the teal pair. Makes me happy, makes me smile. All right, I guess I will start off with one piece of good news. It does look like the coronal hole stream is either yet to arrive or it's very, very weak. We still are watching for this coronal hole stream to impact. Still have that filament eruption that should be impacting at some point in the next 24 to 36 hours as well. Probably going to get some more geomagnetic storms. Hopefully, these ones will not be as severe as the ones we just had, because if they are, it presents a challenging scenario for optimism, if I may put it bluntly. But now that we're not at the equinox anymore. We just had what I can really only describe as a moderate to strong solar wind impact. Should have produced moderate to strong geomagnetic storms, which would be KP6, KP7, level 2 or 3. It produced 10 times higher than the upper range of what would be expected, level 4 storms. And as we have said several times, especially towards the end of last sunspot cycle, there really is no good explanation for the increased vulnerability of Earth's magnetic system, our ionosphere, etc., without the difference, the change in Earth's magnetic field. Not a Hero writes, a few days ago you mentioned the Appalachians having greater induction. As a guesstimate, would you expect a lightning arc there? Thank you for your time. No, the arc discharge is going to be striking the West Pacific. Watch the playlist, my friend. No, even though I don't expect an arc discharge in the Appalachians, it's just not the best place in the world to be. Leif, thank you for the teal pair. Makes me happy. The metaphorical descriptions I was using for the previous solar storm are applicable again here now. Let's say you have a light summer breeze and it starts taking down skyscrapers. Say Major League Baseball players start hitting home runs and the ball goes out into space. These things sound ridiculous to most of you because you know that that's not supposed to happen. Well, for someone in my position, I take a look at the solar wind telemetry and then I take a look at the geomagnetic storms it produced, and it sounds and looks the exact same to me as those things I just said to you. Doesn't make any sense. For gentle summer breezes to take out skyscrapers, or for Major League Baseball players to be hitting home runs out in outer space, something underlying, fundamental, had to have changed. In this case, I know what's changed. Earth's magnetic field. The weaker it gets, the more the poles are shifting, the worse it's going to be. The more vulnerable Earth becomes, unfortunately. But anyway, that's the main message I have here. We've been looking at this from a very academic perspective. It's one thing to track the changes on the sun, the other planets in interplanetary space. It's another when we learn about, as we did a couple of days ago, that the energetic particles started having a greater impact on the atmosphere in the 1950s. But when you're in the midst of it and watching how the space weather is taking larger whacks than is expected at Earth's basically entire systems, from the magnetic system to the geoelectrics to the atmosphere, it just feels more real. Hopefully, hopefully we won't get too much worse. I'm really counting on us making it through this sunspot cycle. And my prediction for that hasn't changed. I expected that we would get several of these larger geomagnetic storms this sunspot cycle. I just kind of thought it was going to take a little more space weather in order to produce them. Thank you again, Leaf. Anyway, is what it is. What questions do you guys have here? Timothy Roper. Know which parts of the good book are metaphor and allegory and which are not. It's an important distinction to make. Barb, it's so good to see you. Hope you are doing well. I see people sending Eric well wishes. I missed whatever it was in the chat, but let me express them as well. Eric, best thoughts to you. Sounds like somebody's at my house. There are no unidentified objects near the sun. How are observers still falling for things like this? No. There are no unidentified objects near the sun. A good place to start with not falling for this is go look up coronal cavity. No, T, I did not get to see the aurora, unfortunately. I was taking care of my kids, and then I was exhausted and I passed out. Speaking of UFOs, though, saw this meme on Twitter today. Things have gotten so bad that the government admits UFO exists. No one cares. Nobody cares. If the government had admitted this 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, it would have been absolutely earth-shattering. Absolutely earth-shattering. But the way things are now, simply nobody cares. Let me see if I can figure out who showed up at my door. I have the ring thing. No idea what's going on there. Looks like one of Kat's friends. I have no idea who that is. Hey, Thomas, how you doing? It'd be great to see you in the United States. I don't know if I'm going to be doing anything special for the eclipse. I have never found eclipses to be all that interesting, and I don't know why. But yeah, if you're in the States, please let us know, Thomas. C-Mac, how can we support you, you ask? Look below the video in the description box. A couple good links in there to do that. Marissa Daniel, I appreciate the top G comment. That would be Andrew Tate. I'll take top O. Lily says, what are we expecting with space weather tonight? I'm expecting the coronal hole stream to arrive at some point here. Not expecting the filament eruption to have its glancing blow of a CME arrive until later tonight or tomorrow. And I'm hoping that they don't combine for another level 4 storm, or else I'm going to really start to worry about how far down our magnetic field has gotten. Thomas, you're very welcome. It's good to see you. To generally answer several of the questions I'm seeing there in the chat. SJ Compton, thank you for the teal pair. Amy, good to see you. Hello. I have no way of knowing how long cell service is going to be viable for, how long the internet's going to be viable for, how long the power grids are going to be viable for. I do think that we should be able to get through this sunspot cycle. There's a lot more to the story that has to play out before the crescendo. Can you guys hear my kids? Ben, North Carolina, Mount Mitchell is 6,800 foot elevation. Think it would be okay from the great wave to come. Thanks for everything you do. Maybe. It might be. It's possible. It might not be 6,800 feet in elevation once isostatic readjustment starts to occur as the water starts creeping onto the land there in the eastern part of the country. And even still, like, do you live up on Mount Mitchell? Or is that just going to be your retreat area? Because when you come back down, all your stuff's going to be gone if you don't live up there. Hard to drag all your preps up to anywhere. We used to talk about this all the time. If at all possible, bug in, don't bug out. Because when you bug out, it's much harder once you leave your castle. Reno, good to see you. Laura, thank you for the teal pair. Such things are desalinating and make me smile. Why Zao 1111? What you fail to realize is I don't give any kind of whether or not you trust me. This is not about trusting me. This is not about being a fan of me. This is me presenting you all of the tools you need, all of the papers with links in the morning shows every time. drawing the connections when they're hard to be made, such that you can be empowered to make up your own mind and trust yourself. No, I don't know. This is what would make me trust you. I don't care. I give you what you need to do your own homework, to empower yourself. I'm not holding your hand through this. I'm not your kindergarten teacher. I'm not your daddy. Somebody desalinate me quickly. What's your current percentage projection on the weakening of our magnetic field? Probably about 25%. Are these new aurora evidence of an even weaker field than you projected? It's not so much the aurora, it's the level 4 geomagnetic storm. And yeah, okay, maybe that suggests we're getting closer to 30% down. Wayne Roberts, you ask if I need an electrician. We are not at the skill level yet. For right now, we do not need anything in the way of skill level, anything. Right now, we're just trying to get built. Anna Maria, a soaring teal pair. That's awesome. Lee, if you live in Florida, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you can drag everything you got up to Mount Mitchell, okay. If not, there's nothing left for you when you come back down off the mountain. Thoughts on Oregon? Yikes. One, if you're anywhere near Portland, yikes. Two, the volcanoes and the earthquakes, yikes. There should be a pretty good slosh from the Pacific as well, although not as bad as the one 12,000 years ago. Charlotte Williams says Northwest Kansas is iffy. We are prepared. I would say Kansas is iffy. You are directly in the flood path from the Gulf of Mexico. Spencer Lawson talked about you to my mom today, and she's slowly coming around after seeding topics about the pole shift and sun micronova. I'm prepping and trying my best to prepare in West Virginia. Can't move. Understood. Part of your prepping might want to be something that floats. Can't hurt, right? Donna, thank you for the teal pair. Reno says, I think we'll be okay in Tahoe. The passes are above 7,000 feet. Yeah, you'll be okay from the waves. Are you prepared for a winter like you just had there with no electricity? And are you prepared to defend your castle from everybody else that's in California? It's not just about the waves. I do see too much focus on elevation in the chat all the time when people are asking questions. Like, am I going to make it here? Am I going to make it here? Am I going to make it here? Maybe you got other concerns there. Other concerns. I remember somebody once asked me, hey, I can be like fully prepared at 9,000 feet in Peru. The waves won't get you, but you're about to be at the South Pole. Congratulations. The tsunami missed you. Enjoy negative 70 degrees. Barbarian, Noah, indeed. Suzanne, thank you for the teal pair. You guys know how to make me smile. Appreciate that. Scrolling. Gotcha, Reno. Do something about it. Soil regeneration. Buy some. Bring in more. Greenhouses. Aquaculture. It's on everybody to figure it out in their own situation. Nikki Ryan Frost, your work is so important. Please keep it up. Will you keep up being awesome, and I'll keep doing this. Deal? Rock on. Yeah, Charlotte, I'm slightly salty today. I felt great during the solar storm. I don't know what was going on. Wendy, thank you for the teal pair. Ninja Bat 007. That's a username right, Joe. Hey, Ben, here's an interesting observation. How can Saturn's and the other planets' rings and asteroid belt are still in place after a micronova? Well, one, micronova is mostly plasma. Two, what if those are the accumulated pieces from the nova, captured in an orbit, captured in a belt? Micronova is much more electromagnetic than it is kinetic. People envision planets and things getting pushed. No. I don't care what Doug Vogt says. No. How far northeast Saskatchewan is safe from the slosh? The problem there is the slosh is coming from the north. The initial inertial tsunamis come from the south, if you're talking about that part of Canada. Then you've also got the Hudson Bay. And I don't know, in Saskatchewan, I have to ask, can you survive those winters right now? And a little worse with no electricity, no stores, no water from the tap, nothing. Like, you're on your own, world's over today. Can you survive those winters for the next 10 years? That's your big question in Saskatchewan. I did enjoy driving through your lovely province, though. Cat was fairly bored, but I enjoyed it. Buy a coffee, chill out. KJ, how is caffeine supposed to make somebody chill out? Tell me to have a drink or smoke a blunt or something if you're telling me to chill out. But like, you're here, like, you might as well be like, hey, Ben, rail a line, chill out. Make no sense. Also, I'm really good at doing what people tell me to do. Love authority. Can't you tell that's how I am the way I am? Can't you tell that's why my channel is the way it is? Jeez. I'm glad you guys thought that was funny. And no, I'm not going to smoke a blunt. Sorry, buddy. I very much enjoy my sobriety. Guys, stop doing drugs. Please. Crunchy Celery, I like your username, and thank you for the teal pair. Infinity? Yeah, it's here, man. You know what? Let me go get it. Must be careful taking this off the wall. Oh. Yeah, bro, it's here. Must be careful putting it back on the wall. It's a heck of a piece of art you sent me there, buddy. Yeah, my daughter loves it. So did my son. My 3-year-old doesn't care. My 3-year-old doesn't care about anything. He's 3. But yeah, man, I was so happy. The moment it arrived, I was like, I know what you are, package. What's up, package? I know what you are. K1F8, just found your channel. Keep up the great work. I'll make the same deal with you as I made with Ms. Frost. You keep being awesome. I'll keep doing what I'm doing. Clint. Right on. Infinity, you're happy? How do you think I felt when it arrived here? Man, that thing is good looking. That thing is good looking. Ladybug asks, how is the arc discharge in the South Pacific going to affect Australia? Well, it won't, because it's going to be in the West Pacific. But Australia is going to take some pretty bad winds, some pretty bad flooding. What can I say? I don't think the discharge is actually going to hit Australia, but it's going to. I mean, if anybody remembers Billy's lab, what happens when you fire electricity into water? It bulges up towards the current and then pushes outward. So enjoy that if you live on the Pacific coast. Nikki SG, Ben, I think you're great. Oh, that's nice. Even when salty, even nicer. How is Northeastern Ontario going to fare? Timmins, Ontario, only at 1,000 feet. You know, Ontario's got several issues. It's not exactly lovely there in the wintertime, especially if you won't have power. Ontario in general is very highly populated, although I'm not sure about Northeastern Ontario. But also, it's got a real good chance getting flooded. Real good chance getting flooded. There's just nothing to stop the ocean. Nothing even close to being able to stop the ocean. I pray for you guys, though. All right, Ryan, I see your message was deleted, but I went and looked at what it was. You say bollocks, Ben. So go ahead. Everybody, cool to chat for a minute. Let Ryan Draper, come on. Do a little more than bollocks. Give me something to go on. I don't even know what you're talking about. Go ahead. Test me, bruv. Test me, bruv. Go ahead, Ryan. I'm watching. I'm watching. What you got? Careful. You know what happens to people like you? Come on. Come on, man. This is what we're here for. If you got something legitimate, we can chat about it. But if you're just running your mouth, I want to know. Bruv. Come on. No, Earth is not flat, Billy Womack. Where'd he go? Come on, Ryan Draper, where are you? Dude, did somebody change their username to Perspicacious? Because that is freaking awesome. Where's Ryan at? Where's Ryan Draper at? Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. I'm platforming you. I'm giving you your shot right here. Shoot it. Shoot your shot. Bruv. Come on. I don't see it. And I don't just want to sit here waiting for him to type something. T. Cole, that's funny. SJ Compton, thank you for the teal pair. One of these days, I'm going to figure out what it is about the teal pair I love so much. All right. If I'm not just going to sit here and stare at the chat. If Mr. Ryan Draper, Bollocks, Ben comes back, somebody let me know, please. We do have fun. Yo, but seriously, I think somebody changed their username to Perspicacious, which is fantastic. Shout out to Top G. Snooty Pups, thank you for that. Holland, thank you. Holland, you look familiar. I don't know where I know you from. Billy Womack, how many times are you going to ask me if Earth is flat or not? No. No. Ben Taylor asked, what if we're moving closer to the sun? We're not. How closely is the Schumann resonance tied to the magnetosphere? Very much so. Very much so. Teal pair. Somebody's asking what a teal pair is. If you look at the super chats, a bunch of people put teal pair gifts in there somehow. I don't know how they do it. I've never actually done a super chat. I have no idea, but I'm a big fan. One of these days, Billy Womack. No, it's not a cube. It is a ball. It is not perfectly spherical, but bruv, I'm putting you in timeout. That's annoying. Hi, Carol. She says, Mr. Ben, will this shite storm wreak havoc with the metal lids on my food stores? God bless you and your family. Probably not, but I can't guarantee it, which is why I recommend storing anything that has anything metal in it that you want to save in a plastic tub, plastic bin. Extra insulation is always helpful. And remember, it's the induced electric current through the ground and lowest parts of the atmosphere that you want to stop from coming in contact with those metal things. I hope that was helpful. Also, God bless you and your family. Suzanne, thank you for that teal pair. Sun Tier 1, thank you for the teal pair. Loving it. Loving it. Fred Hart asks, what about my metal zipper, like on your pants? Oof, that'd be a bad place for an arc. If I tell you there's like an X50 solar flare, just put on sweatpants. Just put on sweatpants for the next couple of days. Jake Lawless, who has successfully found the caps lock key. I'm prepping and digging in here on the Canadian Shield Highlands. I experienced negative physical effects from the solar storm because of my partial paralysis. Ouch. Will the shift affect metal skeletal implants? That's another one where I hope not, but it's very possible. Especially during the solar micronova, everybody's going to get a surge of electricity through them, which is one of the very, very, very important reasons that your body be in peak condition and your mind. KJ Riddle just says, bruv. Bradley B, thank you. Hopefully I'll get a chance to do this. So if you guys have ever seen a thing where people actually get a plastic water bottle to actually hold charge in the water inside of it, you stick your finger in and poof, and you get a little spark. They did these studies and they did this to hundreds of people. But before they did that, they took a general census of whether or not this person was in the positive or in the negative. And this took into account their worldview, how they were feeling that day, and their overall physical health. The reactions to getting that little zap were everything from, oh, that was funny, that kind of hurt, to people literally dropped to their knees. All the people who smiled and kind of thought it was amusing or funny, they were the positive category. Everybody who dropped to their knees and was genuinely hurt by it, in the negative category. Exact same charge in the plastic water bottle. When they talk about men's hearts will fail them in the Bible, yes, this is going to send electricity through every blade of grass, every rock, every tree, and every single one of us. And who you are as a person matters. Are you a positive person? Do you have a positive outlook? Are you trying to be in that highest consciousness state? Are you healthy? All of those things are going to matter. And that will be one of the final and most important separating blocks of the wheat versus the chaff, determining who makes it past it. Wouldn't it be a shame? You're completely prepped. You're in a lucky location. You did everything right, but you're not healthy. You got a shitty attitude. Micronova drops you like that. What a waste that would be. Could the mysterious bangs that are reported to be related to underground electricity charge? I actually think that that's them drilling underground, but some of them could be impacts of the mantle and the crust and how they're deforming and how they're changing. Hard to give a definitive answer on that. Lots of educated guesses could be made. T. Cole says piercing location matters. Oof. No kidding. Yeah. I don't get why you guys go start. Dr. Skov, quote, stop saying micronova. Yes, it's true. She doesn't know Nova. But the first rule is you do not talk about Fight Club. Do you recommend wearing sunblock or just wear hats and long sleeves? Lots of crop dusting here in Arizona. Are you asking about for the sun or the crop dusting? I like my vitamin D production. But that's just me. Ben, have you heard about the cows in Texas? What about the cows in Texas? That doesn't tell me anything. A lot of the rules of Fight Club could absolutely be applicable to you guys if you can think with a metaphoric mind. Catamaran, scuba suit or wetsuit, dry suit, if you have metal in your body, possible. The 18,000 dead cattle, would that be the thing that I talked about on Twitter days ago when it happened? If you're not following me on Twitter, what are you doing? Go follow me on Twitter. The link is down there in the description box. Seventh rule. Fights will go on as long as they have to. All of you asking, when's this going to happen? When's this going to happen? Can it just happen already? Can it just happen already? And for those of you in the opposite camp who are like, no, I just can't wrap my head around this. I just can't do all the prepping. It seems like there's so much to think about. There's so much to prepare for. The eighth and final rule. This is your first night at Fight Club. You have to fight. I can't picture an observer giving up on themselves. That's not what an observer does. Somebody's like, what if I don't have Twitter? Sign up. What if I don't have Twitter? Hi, Pete Benson. How you doing, brother? Pete, it's a shame we couldn't see you in Arizona, man. We were looking forward to seeing you. A bunch of us were wearing our necklaces. I know Kat sent you a photo of one of them, but there was somebody else there that had them too. Great White Hoax. Twitter is junk, in my opinion. Continue with the perspective. Twitter is by far the best social media platform right now. Facebook, woke garbage crap. Instagram, woke garbage crap mixed with thirst traps. Twitter is free. It is a free world on Twitter. I can almost hear some of you saying, like, wait a minute, did Ben just take a shot at liberals? Snowflake melter. Ugh, commercial. Snooty. What did you say? I scrolled like a dumbass. Central Illinois got greenhouse. Should get boat. Yes, should get boat. Should move to Colorado, but if not, should get boat. A rabbit hole. You slipping in jokes where you think I'm not going to see them. Yo, did Ryan ever come back? Did Ryan ever come back? I don't think he did. Billy Womack, hello. Thank you for the teal pair. Barbara, Twitter banned me permanently as well. You know what I did? I signed up with a different email. Took 1 minute. Stop with the excuses. If you're not going to jump on Twitter, fine, don't do it. Don't run your mouth about this reason or that reason or this excuse in there and have me snipe you here from the other side of the camera. If it's not for you, and just observe. Find something else to talk about. Ken, showed up late, so sorry if this was answered earlier. Did you see FEMA released a space weather response training the day after the storm? Yeah. Idiots. Dimitri, I have not banned anyone who disagrees. So why don't, Dimitri, go ahead. You're the new Ryan. Come on, Dimitri. Tell me what you disagree with. You're not banned. But if you come with bad facts and a bad attitude, I'm going to knock your block off in front of everybody. I'm going to embarrass the shit out of you. That's what you deserve. Come on, Dimitri. You account 22. If you want to come, go ahead. Let's do it. Where's my challengers? Come on. I think the cow question was about like 6 cows getting mutilated in the classic alien style. Oh, I did hear about that too. That was gross. Judith Davis, I'm not married, only 23, but how would I even convince my future wife that the world is going to be destroyed, even though this rational argument could be met with disbelief? You do not talk about Fight Club. Marry an observer, bruv. It's actually called X Corp now, no more Birdie. Is it really? I thought that was a joke. Come on, Haterade. Where are you guys? If you're not going to step up to the plate, if you're going to be like this, don't open your mouth in the first place. You're intending to be there, but ended up exhausted from the previous. Yeah, I did hear about that. You had quite the experience. I like Pete. He's a good dude. Ben, I don't always understand everything you're talking about, but I watch every day and continue to learn things for all you're doing. Southern Bama, you're always a good dude. What do you need for the library? Nothing right now. But thank you for asking, Aries. How long have I spent researching this? 12 years. Oh, I really thought I was going to get somebody to try me here on the live stream. I really thought I was going to get somebody to try me here. Okay. Hey, Geek Go 4. I think this is your girl in my DMs. Could you come pick her up, please? Dung is fun. I don't understand some of your chats, bro. Did flat earth believers go to public school? I don't know. Funny question. Mark White, I am 6 feet tall. I do think it's funny that you're a beta, though. Come on, guys. Like, I'm inviting somebody to come step to the plate. But, like, yo, do you guys remember 2011 when, like, trolls were, like, really good at this? When did trolls start to suck at this? Ben Hall, did you just ask me if I've ever read the Adam and Eve story by Chan Thomas? You know about that story because of me. I found the FOIA thing. I presented it in 2018, and every single person who's made a video or written an article about it since then got it here. There's like 6 of you who had heard about it before. I'm serious though. Like sometimes this is Don Robinson, 5'11" max. I am 6 feet tall. I've had conferences. I'm on tour. I've had like 7 tour events this year. You guys can see me in person. It's ridiculous. Nope, I'm lying. I'm 5'1". I'm 5'1". I'm fat and I have no muscles on my body at all. Dumbasses. Brian Stofers, thank you. We have some super chats again. How will Tucson and Phoenix fare and when will it come? They might not get wet, but they also might not have any water to drink. And Phoenix is too many people. Any big city has too many people. Then it looks like OBSD is going to be in the low 70. I was going to drive down, but I think I might spend the weekend there in Mission Valley. See you there, sir. Right on. Yeah, I still think we got 10 years, buddy. SJ Compton. I scrolled past you too quickly. Paul Taylor Sr. Would you ignore the trolls already? Dude, where's your balls? Be a man. Stop whining like a little bitch. For real. No, do you know why I'm not ignoring the trolls? Because I am hoping. Do you remember that scene in 300 where the guy's like, Akkadian, I fought countless times, and yet I've never met a warrior who could offer me what we Spartans call a beautiful death. I have been waiting for somebody to actually come and test me on this. I wake up every day praying I'm going to find a paper or find some kind of study or observational data that's going to disprove this. That means we're not going to have a pole shift, that billions of people aren't going to die. You have any idea how many professors I've taken on? How many people from NASA? I took on an entire NASA climate team and decimated them. I am dying for somebody to actually come and test me in a way that's going to make me think something differently. Could you please ignore the trolls because my little tiny balls can't handle them? Shut up. You have no idea what it is like to be me. I would rather it not be done with the attitude of a child. But seriously, anybody who can actually test me on this, I would love for this not to be true. I would love it. Thank you, Pete. I miss when trolls actually had the ability to make you question yourself. Now they're just bad at it, man. I do not want peace. I want problems always. I don't know about that, Clint, but I can tell you there is a bit of me that feels slightly more at peace when I'm at war. Chill Dill, you sound very egotistical. It's earned. Check the resume, Holmes. I'm not going into that. If I can't have somebody test me on this stuff, then please ask your questions so that I may answer as best as I can. And yeah, Shauna, this is very hard to keep up with. This is very hard to keep up with. What is this thing people keep asking me? Are you ENTP? Are you EJ49er? What are these things people are asking me? I don't understand what any of this is. Yes, Geneva, I need a good debate. I need somebody who can actually Put me to the test on this stuff. Asking questions is not testing. Asking questions allows me to bring forth the knowledge. The people I'm complaining about aren't actually asking questions. They're just doing things like saying, bollocks, liar. Damien, do you have any legitimate questions? Ugh. No, Damien, your questions do not test me. I have hyperthymesia. I've sat here for 2 hours, been asked 200 questions. Did it look like a test? Did it look like I had to sit there and think? Did it look like I had to go and reread papers? Me answering your questions is not a test. I could do this in my sleep. If you saw my dreams, you'd know I do. Jimmy Moore, what's your question? There's literally been 10,000 things so far. Briggs-Meyer personality types. I've never taken a Briggs-Meyer test. I don't believe in that crap. Jimmy Moore, what is your question? What is your question? Since you only answer super chats because it's impossible to answer everything else. I've gone over this 1,000 times, Dr. Cornelius. Sandy Hardy. You find someone, let me know, please. Dying for it. Jimmy Moore, steel, yacht, or fiberglass? That's a tough one, man. Wood? Will you accept wood as the best answer? Steel and fiberglass both have their drawbacks, my friend. It is possible that people will survive at sea, just not in the West Pacific. And for those who I guess don't seem to understand this, once it has about 50,000 subscribers, it is well understood, well known, and universally practiced that you can't keep up with every single chat. So you have to focus on the super chats. I don't care if it's a $100 super chat or a $1 super chat. I'm going to try my best with it. But the fact of the matter is we've got almost 700,000 people, and there's no way for me to not focus on the super chats. It's not about how much money is coming in. I don't care if they're all $1 super chats. Bob Collins, you can eat a dick. I would love to see me in a debate, but nobody will debate me. I've been trying to get people to debate me for a long time. People do this when they think I'm not watching, when they think I'm not paying attention to the comment section. And they disappear and shut up real fast when I show up. Dieter, that's not a bad question. Help from ETs maybe, or from the spiritual side. So I know that being spiritually with it is part of what I was talking about earlier. You know, zapped. Some people thought it was fun. Some people dropped to their knees. Whether it's health, whether it's psychological and emotional well-being, probably spiritual well-being as well. All of those things are going to play a role. As for help from ETs, I think the survivors will probably get help from ETs, but this is a test that Earth needs to go through, and I don't think that they're going to rob us of that test, of this learning experience. I, of course, believe in ETs. Man, I can tell there must be like thousands of awesome questions in here, but again, there's just no way for me to get to all of them. Does consciousness create matter? I don't know. Consciousness is electromagnetic waves, and electromagnetic waves bound up is matter. So maybe. Will you accept a maybe, my friend? Paul Pickering, looking forward to a beer, bro. Hope the family as well. I'll tell you this. At some point this summer, you're going to need to remind me. I have a lot going on and a lot on my mind. You're just going to have to drop me some messages reminding me about September, if I'm not mistaken. Please don't forget to do that. What's the best source of finding out the level of water table in north central New Mexico? Build like the Vikings or Japanese using wood only. Best source of finding out the level of water table in north central New Mexico. Well, the absolute best way is to drill until you hit something. I believe in dowsers, but I also believe in those people who come and they shoot the radar thing into the ground like in the opening scene of the original Jurassic Park, and then they tell you what's under the ground. Hello, Mark. Alexander, you have not been sniped. There's your answer. Stormy is sick right now. Nebulosity's here, though. Shout out to Nebulosity, though. Nebulosity is one of those folks who really, when he can tell, I actually don't know if he's a he or a she. When they can tell that I'm not in the comment section, they answer comments real well. Ben, do you believe in lizard people? I don't know how to answer that. Do I think there could be reptilian aliens? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know I absolutely believe in ETs, but so much of the ET stuff that I see online, it's just so obviously nonsense. It's where it's harder to discern that makes you go, huh, is that it or no? Is that it or no? Shady Trees, it was nice seeing you in San Jose. It was nice seeing everybody on all the Blitz Tour events. David Hudson, that's a fun idea, but I doubt it. Hello, Roger. Thank you. Stormy, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to make of that. It's like Stormy heard me and popped onto the video. My fam is on this channel now, says Kentara Bella. Bless you. When you see it, click, and you know you have your clan back. It's everything. Having a network is important. Carol says, when land masses shift and settle, will the climate for Colorado be similar to current-day Ireland? No, it will be similar to current-day Colorado. I asked because I have a plan to move there and set up a flax to clothing farm. Everyone will need clothes. Hit me up when you do. Sounds awesome. Ben, you mentioned the pole flip at 90 degrees. I'm using Google Earth to try to figure out the new equator. Thanks. Greenland at the equator. Up at the top, Bay of Bengal. At the bottom, somewhere around Peru or Ecuador. Once you've got those three things, and you do need a triangulation, you've got your new equator. Mike Moses, best guess. Does the Nova wipe everyone's memory? I really, really hope not. And there is some evidence that it doesn't. This story, I mean, the Sanskrit texts tell, I think, 4 or 5 of these 12,000 year cycles. Hopeful, right? Ben, I think there's a way to measure pole shift state somewhat accurately using the Ovation Aurora models during geomagnetic storms. I developed an algo. How can I share with you if you're interested? you can email it to me, but I think that the aurora are not necessarily going to follow the magnetic poles like that. As long as the North Pole and the South Pole geographically are up there, the auroral ovals, because I mean, a lot of it has to do with the induction as something is sweeping past the Earth in the horizontal. I think that in terms of particle bombardment, like the polar cusps, those might be a little bit more related to the magnetic poles, but the actual auroral circle, I'm not sure if that's actually going to be too much affected. Sean Dolphins, we've got 2 moderators here. JMC, yes, I am a Christian. Is pole shift related with the cosmic year, 250 million years? No. These pole shifts happen every 12,000 years. Would you consider visiting Canada, Ben? Not for a while. Not for a while. Not until you guys get rid of True Dope. WHTSTR213 just keeps writing liar over and over and over again. Don't ban him. I want to challenge this person to actually come and test me on something. If he writes liar again, snipe the shit out of him. Yeah, but open invitation. I'm waiting. I can't tell you how long I've been waiting. You don't know what it's like to be me waiting and hoping, checking the journals every week just for the kick in the teeth, confirmation upon confirmation. JK, I do not know what that super chat is supposed to say or ask, but thank you. And you are awesome. JMC, I said, yes, I am a Christian. How many times are you going to make me say it? You mentioned some land mass will sink. Colorado and Wyoming? Probably not. Probably not. Is there any research or data that might show local increased nova activity triggered by the galactic current sheet? Would you like to watch the playlist and see us tracking the stars going boom, 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 right at the sun, and we're next in line? Because we've done that analysis already, my friend. The answer is yes, there is research. Yes, there is data. And yes, we have put all of that in the playlist. In fact, it's in the first video of the Earth disaster playlist, my dear friend. Doc Durden, thank you for the teal pair. Makes me happy. You know what I'm bad at? Scrolling. Mark Falcon, thank you very much. No, the micronova cannot detonate nukes. It could destroy them. My position on ocean acidification is that it's a joke and not something we have to worry about. Sergeant Prepper, they did not close the Sunspot Observatory. They just closed it off to people. It was still running data the whole time. In fact, while it was closed, I used its data in the morning news. They didn't actually shut down anything like that or stop all the internet access to it. But thanks for asking. Kentara Bella, what is at the center of the galaxy if not a black hole? Nobody knows. Might be good to ask Robitaille that question. But it's certainly not a black hole in the way they describe it. Might be something like a superstar. There's really just no way to know. What's your favorite playlist video of all time? The one on the galactic current sheet. Damien Devereux, what will show you all of your faults? LOL. White WHTSTR213, all based on crap. You mean observational evidence, peer-reviewed papers, predictions that keep coming true over and over and over again, except for what you learned yourself? You can't just make stuff up. If you're going to come at me, you have to come at me with something legitimate. All based on crap. No. Peer-reviewed science, observational reality, confirmation upon confirmation upon confirmation, and then predictions based on that information that come true and then confirmed and confirmed is not crap. What else you got, Flyboy? Yeah, let's add the salt. Do other planets have pole shifts like Earth does? There is evidence that Mars turned over before, and Uranus is on its side now. S.J. Compton, there's a really good video on that in the playlist, actually. Bro, today's shirt is not near tight enough. Am I supposed to go put a different shirt on? Founders Wallet Ranch, when it will be up. It won't let me ask this. We're going to put it up when the ranch opens. We're still building the building. We're still building the wall. That will be Founders Wall. Yes, watch the playlist. Top G is free though, Walter. Happily. Gathering seeds for historical colored cotton, green, dark brown, beige, and other colors. I can spin any fiber. Who wants to learn how to spin yarn? I do. It's going to be hard over the internet though. Lance. So do we have two things happening? Pole shift and crustal displacement. If so, the poles and land masses, do the poles stay aligned and to the vertical axis of the sun's heliopause? Hope not a dumb question. It's not a dumb question. I can tell you haven't watched the playlist though, my friend, because we actually have animations of how it all works in that playlist. The magnetic poles are shifting. Eventually, the geographic poles will shift. And it just so happens that all the evidence about how they are going to be doing that will put the new magnetic poles at the top and bottom of the world. That's one of those ones where it's like, how many coincidences can you possibly ignore? It just works so perfectly. But again, that is all in the playlist. Lynn says, Ben, is it possible the ridiculous snipes are bots in training? I don't know. Maybe. WHTSTR213 says, I fear the Lord and nothing else. Well, I feel you on that one. But the Lord is what created all of this. And the Lord wants you to have the eyes to see, the ears to hear. And he didn't tell Noah to pray. He told him to build an ark. Faith without works is death. Have a blessed day. These polar shifts account for the lack of aliens. Maybe they do. Ben, is it possible to... Oh, I read that one already. And no, you're right. The shirt is not nearly tight enough. Not nearly tight enough. WHTSTR213. I don't doubt that you have the love of Jesus Christ. I'm telling you, there is zero evidence that that is enough. Yes, that's enough to get to heaven. You should also want to make it to the next stage of earth. Is Andrew Tate joining the ranch? No. That's funny, though. That'd be cool. I see Subcoder. Subcoder has entered the chat. What's up, buddy? All right, guys. I'm going to go put on a tighter shirt. I will see you in the morning for the daily show. Be safe, everyone. Enjoyed it.